Welcome to the Captain A Show, the Captain Adam Shelton Show, where I give you what you need. And right now, I'm going down. I'm going down, baby. Will I rebound? Will I have to sell my house and the car and the kids and everybody in the car, baby? Yeah. I saw something in a wallet and I saw something on an exchange, and I saw red. The 400K is just down in crypto. So I saw the percentage in. I was like, man, I may have to go work at Save-A-Lot. Put my application in at Save-A-Lot. There's 5 places I was thinking of. Save-A-Lot, Family Dollar, because they got good benefits. The third one, I thought Walmart. The fourth one, I was thinking about AutoZone, because then, hey, they can take a percentage off my car here. Free oil changes. Actually, on the sign outside of it, it literally says free oil changes if you work there. So I was like, yeah, I'm down 400K. So I can be like, free oil changes. Okay. And then the fifth one was a shock to you. The fifth one, I was like a bakery. That's what I was thinking about. I'm going down, baby. Okay, guys. This is what we got right now. The crypto market, the stock market, hey, even the grocery store market is down right now. All right. Down with 400K, we'll recover. The answer is yes. I paused for a minute. I was like, really? Are we? Yeah. So the answer is yeah, of course. You will recover. Because right now, if you think about it, everybody's scared right now. And the reason why, this is the scare. Look at that. 26 fear. It's a lot of fear. People ain't trying to watch no shows. People ain't trying to watch no crypto. They're not trying to watch no stocks. They're getting away. I can tell when the market is good, everybody is a party. You know what? Because even people coming in this live, it's like 1 or 2 people, 3, 4, 5 people just kind of trickling in right now because they want to face it. They saw the headlines. Will I recover 400K in red? I think it's fear. And what it is, when it's fear, people stay away from it. Like, nope, I don't want that. It's like a hot stove and your hands are like ready to touch that hot stove. And you're like, people are like, I am not touching that hot stove. Not with my hand. No, it's already hot. So right now, what you have is just a bunch of fear. And you heard the whole mantra, when in doubt, zoom out. Okay? So right now, if you zoom out, look at when I zoom out. I like it when I zoom out. So when I zoom out, it tells me something. What it tells me is greed is coming. Greed is coming, guys, because think about it. If I go over here, greed is coming. This is the lowest. You see that 26? That's the lowest we've been since what? I'm zooming out. That 26 is low since, hell, have we been this low before? Let's see, yearly low. So 26, the last time we've been this low was last September. So if I look at this, the last time we've been this low was September. But you know what? You see that green there, that greed? That was in March. And what month are we about to enter? We're about to enter March. We're entering March. So my situation, how I'm looking at this whole thing is this. We're still recovering from winter. So we're still in the winter season. The winter started last year in December. So December, winter started there. So we're still part of the winter situation here. When we enter March, we're entering spring. So that's the first official season, full season of 2025. That's the first full season here. So when I go back and look at this, I'm like, March 11th, 2024, that is when it was extreme greed. So that's about a yearly high, okay? A yearly high. So let's find out when spring season starts. Spring season of 2025. Let's go ahead and do some decorations. I'll show you. Welcome to the Captain Adam Show. Spring season starts on March 20th, okay? So spring season starts at March 20th. So it makes me think here is that once we enter the spring, to me, I think you'll start to see some things happen. I do think you'll start seeing some things happen before the spring season, okay? This week here, things are down, a lot of scares, a lot of fear, but here's stuff that people are not seeing. While the price is down and people are freaking out, you've got other things that's happening. One, you have this here, and I'll show you this. You have this. You have GameStop CEO received letter urging the company to buy $5 Bitcoin. So you have this going on while all the fear that seems to be, and the fear is really retail people. Really, the fear is really like people like us, not necessarily me, but I am down 400K in red. Will recover? Yeah, in time. And in fact, that thing will go even higher. See, I could panic and then sell the rest of that in there and be even down even more based on the positions that I was in now. But I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? If I take it out, what benefit would that do? If I take out the 400, down 400K, whatever's left in there, all I'm doing is I'm selling at a big loss, obviously, and I'm just substituting my positioning here. That's what I'm doing. That's just what happens. And that's where, according to this here, that's what a lot of people are doing. People are selling at a loss. People are selling a loss. Yeah, you may have retail, you may have like, the corporate investors and things like that. They're selling, but they're not, I don't think they're not selling at much of a loss because based on what they got in the position. So they may be selling a lot of their stuff, but they're not selling as a loss. Now the average day person, they're selling at a loss, but there's accumulation that's happening. Accumulation is definitely happening. You know why? Because I look at here Bitcoin, and I'm seeing here Bitcoin at $88,000. Now, they always say, when in doubt, zoom out. And it's kind of true. Look at this. If I do 1 month, okay, I see 88, and I see the high is 100,000. But look at this of 1 year. 1 year, we're at $57,000 a year from now. We're at $57,000. Okay, and people were still panicking then. 88,000, people are panicking even more. The fear is at basically almost at an all-time low in a year, almost there, okay? Because we're basically tied 25, 26 from last September in terms of the fear and greed index. And greed. The only people who's being greedy are the people who's buying the dip. And that's people like the people at the top. They're buying the fear, They always say buy the fear. They say always buy the fear, because there's always fear. It's always fear. Because there's a lot of fear out there. But they say when in doubt, zoom out. So when I look at this, I'm saying Bitcoin a year from now was $57,000. The high of Bitcoin was like 106, and that was in December. That wasn't that much long ago. And that was in a winter season. That was still in the winter season when things are kind of things were moving and shaking, but we haven't entered that area where a drop and consolidation and things like that, where we're still at a high at that particular time, but that drop was coming. I thought what kind of happened in January, but it ended up happening in February. So where I was looking at and doing the research, I was thinking it happened in January, and it happened in February, but March is going to be fireworks, 100%, absolutely, all the time here. So when I go look at other things, I know you're kind of feeling fear because right now, normally be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in here. Now you only got 100. So at least for right now, you have people watching the replay, people coming in, things like that, because people are scared. It's not bullish anymore. And the thing is, this is the time really when you want to get there. Oh, what's up, Dream Wizards? P-N-U-T-A. Hey, is that the food? Is that what the food is? Let's go, Captain. Absolutely, man. Down 400K. What do I say? Listen, I got a hold. It doesn't make sense to even touch it. I looked at it. I literally looked at it. It was like red. It was this. I looked. I was like, it was red. It was no green or blue. It was just red and white when I looked. Red and white. It was just blood. It was basically saying, food don't sell. And it was like, hey, everything was red. And I was just like, and I was tempted. I was like, should I take some out? Should I take some out? And you know what happened? I couldn't even do it. You know, I tried to see if I can sell something. You know what happened? It didn't work. It was like the slippers was all messed up, and that was a sign. I was just kind of playing around, see if I could sell a token or so. So I was playing around, and then, you know, because that temptation's there. When it's fear, the first thing we're doing, like, no, run away from it. Absolutely. I'm usually bullish when the market goes down, but I think I'm worn out after all the pump fund stuff. I understand. And that's why sometimes you need to get away. Sometimes you need to go away or do some other things. You look at your stuff like, you know, it's down, and you do other things, you know, just do other stuff. You know, you can watch videos like this to get some motivation, because I'm not giving up. I'm going to be around, you know, down 400K. What do you say? And I had a conversation, not with my multimillionaire friend, not him, because he's buying the dip. But what happens is, I had a conversation with a person that's over $1 million down. I had a conversation with him. And you know what he said? He said he's buying the dip. He's down $1.2 million. He's down $1.2 million. I was like, hey, you know, I'm down, you know, 400K, you know. And he was like, well, you know, I'm buying the dip. And I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, I'm just buying it, man, because I may not get he said these prices, he was like, these prices might never stay. He's like, bro, people don't understand. These prices might not ever stay. They may not stay. And when I look at these things here, GameStop, $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. I mean, I'm just like, bro, yeah. And then I turned out with, you know what I said? Oh, this is happening. Absolutely. He's basically throwing some fairy dust. Oh, GameStop CEO received a letter urging the company. Bro, don't be surprised he sent a letter to himself. He sent a letter to him. Don't be surprised he sent a letter to himself or somebody in there to kind of start some stuff. Should we buy $5 billion worth of Bitcoin? You're damn skippy, you should be. And you probably already did it. You might buy 10 billion. See, this kind of stuff, man, it makes me think like they know something I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got this. Now, and I'll answer the question. I get some questions coming in. Now, the thing about this, guys, what you got to understand, the SEC has been dropping a lot of cases. They've dropped the Robinhood case. Okay, so they dropped now the Uniswap investigation. You know, they dropped the Coinbase case. Have you noticed they dropping cases? They dropping cases just like Denzel Washington trading day. I'm dropping cases. Jake, remember that? I'm dropping cases. SEC is dropping more cases than the Pizza Hut man when he goes back to the factory. He dropped case. They're dropping so many cases. They dropped like 4 or 5 cases in the last week or so. They're dropping cases. Wow, they're dropping cases. And then look at this. Awesome, all this stuff. You know, people are like, yeah. Huge win for Uniswap and DeFi as a whole. The world is healing. This is a big DeFi, which it is. While that's happening, people are selling. How fast your heart was beating when you made your first 100K in crypto? Do you even remember? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whew, man. Um, yeah, it was the first time I saw 100K, seen it a few times. Okay, so man, because V Chain was the first time I saw. V Chain was the first time I saw it in V Chain, saw it in Shiba, Saitama. So those are picks. XRP, yeah. And I done some moving around, some shaking and stuff like that. The first time it happened, it was more like I dropped the phone and I was like, wow, it was crazy. So first time 100K happened, I didn't necessarily believe it at first. And I didn't believe it at first. So I took a screenshot and I was like, man, this is real. And you know what I tried to do? I tried to sell it all and they let me. It was on crypto.com. I'm never gonna forget about it. It was VeChain. It was back a little bit before the bull run really started. And I was on VeChain with nothing. I was a big fan of VeChain. This is before memes, before I got into memes. I was Cardano, VeChain, Ethereum, Seller Network. So I wasn't a meme person. I wasn't a meme person yet. And then I had Doge, but I only had a little bit of Doge at the time, but I had more VeChain and Cardano than I had anything else, really. So when I first experienced, it was VeChain when I saw, and then it was XRP. XRP was around there too as well. So I didn't get it to Cardano levels yet because I didn't have like a ton, but VeChain had a ton of it. But it was crazy, man. I was excited about it. Yep. And then I took some of those profits and I moved into Shiba later on. But I did it late though. I did it late. I didn't do it when my multimillionaire friend told me. But I moved some profit over to Shiba like late, bro. Like late. Like really late. Too late. It was actually too late. Come to think of it. Because I did it a little bit after that big run up in October 2021. So I moved some of those profits late. And I still made some money from it, but nowhere near where I should have done. So 100K is life-changing, guys. And it's going to be a lot of 100K winners here and across the market. We just got to get through things like this. That's what it is, man. I mean, making 100K, you're going to have to, man, crypto, you're going to be going in cycles. That's why sometimes you really do need to have a balance. When the bull run happens, I even say in the bull, you still need to have a balance because everything is so up. You're crazy. You could just be going crazy, insane. The opposite of what you're probably feeling right now. Not everybody, but some people based on the fear. When it's greed, your numbers are so high, you need to bro, I got to sell something I got to sell something. Let me have a drink. Because last bull run, when I saw some numbers, it was just, everything was just up, man. It seemed like every project I saw or I invested into was going up. Everyone I talked about and one I invested into, they all did well. And they all did well, bro. All of them. Now, eventually, some of them went down and some of them, went in different directions. But all of them went up for a good period of time. All of them. I was 10 for 10. All of them. Either I invested or I talked about. And I talked about a decent amount of them. They all did well. At that window now. You can't be like, well, I got in 3 months. Well, their window might have been a month. But I'm just saying, on some of them, it's been a year over that. So it's kind of like one of those things where the bears, when everybody's scared and they're trying to they're trying to find their place when the bear happens. And I think the bear is where you make your money. This is where you make your money, guys. When it's fear, that's when you invest and you hold even longer. You should be the opposite way. I know it's hard to. You'll be like, oh, damn, my shit's 400K in red. It's not bloody red. That shit is like dark red. I looked at my shit. I was like, what the? And then it was red. I had to scroll down and the answer was, yeah, you're not selling none of this. Because I tried to sell a couple of tokens. I tried to sell a few. It did not let me. The slippage was off. The slippage was off, and it did not let me sell none of the tokens in the red. So I was like, you know what I did? I bought a little bit more. I know, yeah. I bought a little bit more. I did, man. It felt good too. I'm like, yeah. I bought a little bit more. Everything was on sale. Everything, hell, even Michael Saylor said that. So going back to this, oh yeah, you said dropping more cases than Coca-Cola. Seriously, think about it. Like I was saying, I don't mean to get interrupted. Think about it. The SEC is dropping more cases than Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Bud Light, Budweiser, Cordon. They're dropping so many cases. So I'm like, hold on here. You drop Robinhood, you drop Uniswap, okay, you drop Coinbase. You're probably going to drop the rest of the XRP. And then there's another case that they dropped. They dropped so many cases here that I feel like I'm the Pepsi man. I'm the Pepsi man delivering cases to all the kids in the yard. All the kids. Because, I mean, all these cases here. I'm just like, what the hell? See, the thing is, sometimes I'm going to find out what's the one other case they did. They dropped another case here. And then, before I go to this, guys, okay, so sometimes, you know how you'll take a test, and you know how you take a test. You show up to the classroom. You show up to the classroom, and all of a sudden, the teacher's like, this is an open book test. The answers is in the book, all right? Here's the test. It's a white piece of paper. There's 10 questions, okay? Instead of like, you don't need to know. I'm just going to give you the book that has the answers. In fact, the first 2 pages literally got all the damn answers. So you don't have to read all 400 pages of this book. The answers in the first 2 pages. And then when I saw this, I'm like, it's showtime. It's showtime. Yes, it's showtime. Because he literally gave you the answers to the test. So with that 400K me being down, I start like thinking like, this ain't gonna last too long. Because I'm like, this 400K ain't gonna last too long. Ain't gonna last too long. So, yeah, absolutely. He said, I see why you pulled out of your node for main. I didn't even have a node. I never had a node. So sorry about that. Mainnet. I never had a node. I didn't have a node. So I definitely want to pull. I ain't pull and sell anything. Hell, why? So no, I never had one. I mean, unless somebody pretending to be me and doing all that. No, I haven't sold anything. I ain't sold nothing. The only thing I'm consider is USDC. So no, it has to be somebody else or something, man. Sorry, Underdog. And I like that show. Underdog is here. I used to love that cartoon. Love the cartoon. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Underdog is here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, he was really good. But no, I didn't. Not me. It had to be somebody else. I'll tell you. Like, yeah, I had to do that. But nah, I didn't even have a node. I don't know. No, not that I knew of. So anyway, to answer your question, and I'm being truthful, be honest. I'm being honest. So when I saw this answer to the test, I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. So he's basically saying it's the son of the president, right? He said buy the dips. And they had Bitcoin on here. And you know, if you zoom in, hey, if you guys got glasses, I'm going to zoom in for a moment. Zoom in for a moment. You see the B? The B looks like Bitcoin. You see the B? That's the B. That's the B right there. That the B is a B stand for Bitcoin. Bravery. Bullish. Embarrassed. But bullish. You see the B and the B. That is a back signal. I think I said that. Did I say that? That's the back signal? Yeah, I said that is the bat signal. I was like, that's the bat signal. And you know what, guys? This happened today. In fact, this happened today. But then, you know what happened? This didn't really go up at all, really. In fact, it actually might have dropped since then. So it's the signs. It's the signs. Buy the dips. And I said, that's the bat signal. I said that 10 hours ago. I was like, that's a signal. So that like that ruby red, you know, down 400K. Nah. I was like, no. Nah. I was like, no way. So that's pretty cool. ITMT. Shout out to the community. So even Trump knows what's up. Yeah, I'm buying more. Even Eric knows the game. Time to buy the dip. Me buying one more dip. Oh man. Yeah, is that a headline? Wow. See all these people saying this? Like, let me zoom in for a moment. This is stuff that you guys got to see. So yeah, I think Trump doesn't want or need BTC to go up. He needs the dollar to be strong and trustworthy. Well, he also wants Bitcoin to go up because remember, he said he wants it to be the crypto capital. Now, him saying that, there are going to be some attempts to do it. And I really believe that that's going to happen. So bought the dip, the actual dip, the dip of the dip. Yeah, is the dip on the top of the dip, you know? The bought the dip, the actually dip, and the dip of the dip. So absolutely, yeah, get all the dips. And then the dip of the dippity dip. Come on, man. Basically, just all this dipping, all this dips and, you know, chocolate dip and vanilla dip. Just get the dip. Sellers are exhausted. The sellers. Yeah, exhausted. Yes. I don't know if sellers are really exhausted. Because when I sell, you know, we hear these things. I think we say these things to make ourselves feel better. Because when I sell, I don't feel exhausted. You know, I mean, I don't feel exhausted. I think we say these things to make us feel better. Because everybody sell at some point. When I sell, I don't feel exhausted. I actually feel fine. All right, it was just time for me to, you know, take some profit. I don't feel exhausted. We do all this stuff to make us feel better. Sellers must be exhausted. You know, the only how you be exhausted unless you're just selling at a loss, which that's what's been happening. The only how you sell at a big loss. You know what I'm saying? And have I sold at a loss before? I have before. Never. Never again. No. I learned my lesson. No, not at a loss. I better see some green pepper in there. No way. No way. Nah. Buy the dip. Exactly. Buy the dip with what? Some people don't have enough to buy. They're like, with what? We have exhausted. You know. Yeah, man. So, you know, sometimes you be thinking, do I really need to eat lunch tomorrow? I'll eat peanut butter and jelly for the rest of the week. So you're thinking like, you know that $10, that $20 lunch that you do. So let's say $20 lunch, 5 days. So that's what is that? That's $100. I'm just gonna eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm gonna have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a banana, and a glass of water at the place. So that means that's all being kept. That $100 I'm saying, you know what I'm doing with that $100? I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm buying the dip. Buying the dip. Buying the dip. Absolutely. He also said to buy ETH. Where are people? Why are people listening to him? I mean, I'm not sure what he means by that. He even said, thank me later. Guys, everybody takes things differently. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is, things never stay low too long. Wow. I hope Jim Cramer did not say buy the. Now, the only how you panic, if this guy says buy the dip, then you may want to be like, whoa, just pause. If he said buy the dip, you may want to pause. I hope he didn't. Did he? Oh, yeah. I think he's quiet. He needs to remain quiet. He said buy ETH 3 weeks ago. See that? Yeah, I mean, why not? In my opinion, it's a great time. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with him saying this? You can thank me later. I don't know. It could be up to something. You better not buy nothing until the correction is over. Here's the thing. Why not buy now? And if it goes down again, buy again. Because a lot of this is all about speculations and what we think could happen. Either you go up, you go down, you remain. It's only 3 ways you can go in terms of this. Either you go up, you go down, or you just remain the same. So I'm thinking like, you know what? It's already down for my current position. Or it's just down, period. I'm going to buy now, okay? And if it goes lower, buy again. That they call that DCA. I don't know why people try to find, you know what it is? People try to find that, and they try to find the exactly timing, trying to time the market. Be careful on trying to time the market because you could be wrong or it may move. Yes, just buy now. When that thing goes down, buying now. Then I'm buying, and then it goes back up. Then you're in the green. People try to time the market like, oh, you better not buy nothing until the correction is over. Correction could be over tomorrow. You know why? Somebody can say something, boom. Trump can be like, listen. Trump can literally say, or somebody in his camp says, I think it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. All of a sudden, Bitcoin goes to 88K to 108K. Because that's what, I mean, the chart only gives it by pressure, but it does not have in the chart, when you do chart analysis, it does not account of somebody just moving the market. Like basically somebody saying something, doing something, buying something. All of a sudden tomorrow it could be announced Apple is buying 20 billion in Bitcoin. If that's out, that shit may go up. That will go up. Because now all of a sudden now into fear, that's what I'm saying. You quit trying to time the market. Just be careful. Definitely look at analysis and make your own decisions. But thinking like, hell, if it goes lower, just buy in. Why are we so scared of missing that? It's already down. Just buy again. Not financial advice, but that's what I would be looking at. So I'd be like, listen, if I put $100 bill, $100 in, okay? It goes down. My stuff is $70. I'm buying again. Let's say, and now that $70 value is down to $50. I'm buying again. If that $50 go down to $30, I'm buying again. And then I'm like, then I may pause. And then all of a sudden something happens in the market, whatever, that $100 is back to $300. I bought 3 dips plus my entry. I'm good. Especially on something I believe in. Now, don't just buy stuff that's blindly. Make sure you research what you got. Don't just be buying something and just, I hope you go up because I put all my pennies in you. Don't do any of that stuff. Make sure you know what you got. Bitcoin, good where that, gosh, good where Bitcoin's going back to over 100K. You just gotta wait on it. Smart. Yes, absolutely. Appreciate. no can time the market unless they set a trap and have inside information. It's true. Unless you have inside information, like some of the people up in the Congress or some in the government, Nancy Pelosi. Don't think I know you, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's like, she got inside information. They basically says, Nancy, buy this stock at 4:15 p.m. Oh, God. If you buy it at 4:20, it's too late. She's buying that shit at 4:15, and then it goes back up. Inside information basically telling you. And I feel like the inside information, they're probably calling you on a red phone, and they have a very disguised voice. This stock's going up at 4:15. You need to buy it at 4:12 now. It's kind of one of those type of things. It's probably like a secret voice. They don't want to track it. You buy it and you're like, hey, shit, I'm in profit heaven. Absolutely. People panic too much too quickly. We're in a financial crisis. Crypto is the solution. Even if it takes a few months, crypto is going to explode this year. It will. It's all about patience and about having a plan. I think it's more, it's the more you work on yourself, the better you are making better decisions. That's just kind of like that's just how it is. The more you work on yourself, the better you making better decisions. If you look at the news headlines, while they are not selling, most sales are from retailers. Yeah, it's from retail investors. It's somebody who got $500 in, $300 in. You got a lot of those guys. You got a lot of people who probably has a couple of thousand, or maybe a few 100,000, or maybe less than that. They're the one that kind of selling all this stuff. That's why so much greed. I mean, and you're just panicking. You just don't really know. And I mean, hey, the numbers shoot for itself. Hell, yesterday was 29. Last week was 37. So we're actually going down. We're going down, baby. And last month we were in greed at 60. But I understand why people are panicking, because, you have the Bybit, hack situation. You have some of the uncertainties in terms of where the market is really, really going, So it's when people are not certain, they sell. They sell. Like when you're uncertain, you sell. But the people that's selling a lot of it, they're not really researching, or they're not really understanding that. But you know what? They'll just FOMO back in. That's what happens. I'm cool with temporary fears, creating buy opportunities, staking offsets some downturn. I will keep staking my token. Yeah, and staking is definitely key. If you got a project that they got a good staking percentage and a program that's definitely giving you some decent returns, absolutely. Staking right now is probably definitely another game plan in your arsenal. Staking, buying the dips and stuff like that. Tracking, what you have. Absolutely. So staking, absolutely. Staking is definitely an option. And, I really wish more people would see that. And I also wish people would see like what else is going on. Yes, the number's down, but I didn't say wish, but because everybody's not going to see it. But you just also got to look at everything. When in doubt, zoom out. When I see Bitcoin last year around this time, that thing was 57K. And that was still in the bear. Although we're still, we're basically, to me, and I know everybody's different, we're soon getting ready to get into the spring season, which meaning I feel like you're going to start seeing more green. Red light, green light. Remember the actually show, or not show, but actually was a game. Red light, green light. Right now it's red. Soon it's going to be green. It never stays red too long, guys. When you're driving down the highway, what do you see the most when you drive down the highway? Do you see red lights or green lights? You don't see yellow. That yellow is like, it's a yellow and it's gone. I see more green overall. If I'm driving down the highway and you got like 5 lights, 5 different lights and they're different colors. A lot of times green, I'm just driving. Absolutely. In my station wagon, that's red. Yes, I'm just driving down there. I am driving, absolutely, in the Captain Mobile. In the Captain Mobile. It's not Batman. It's actually, the theme song goes different. It's doom doom. Yeah, I got to change my theme song. Yeah, it's not Batman. The Captain Mobile, we're going down the highway. The Captain Mobile. So that it's green. I see green. And eventually I hit a red light. And then when I red light, it's like everyone stops and it's like, shit. But then again, I'm going to green again. One green light, another green light. One, I beat the yellow light, So what I'm getting at is, guys, yes, you're going to hit red, but you're also going to hit green. I don't think Solana meme coins were good for crypto. I had a few wins, but mostly I put them in everyday retail, probably get wrecked. I think overall, it got attention. See, crypto is all about attention. I think Solana is good and trying all these because it gets people attention. It brings in more people that's willing to trade. Now, there are wins or losses on any chain. There's always wins and losses. But I think what Solana did was it opened up more opportunity for people to buy and sell and create. Now, you're not going to always win. Not always going to lose either. But I think it's another area where people now are building. Well, I think you're going to start seeing more now. You're going to eventually start seeing more Solana getting really good utility projects built on their chain, more of those. You're always going to have memes. Always going to have memes, unless they say, hey, but memes still drive that chain. It does. If you look at the revenue. But I think you're going to start seeing more like utility type projects built on there. I think you'll see a little bit more of an entry in. Not a full switch because memes still kind of drive that truck. It still does, at least for right now. And, so I think what it did was it just opened up opportunities where people may not have done because Ethereum fees were so high, people didn't want to really trade on Ethereum, and Binance was just sleeping at the time, and Tron was kind of like, you really didn't have a chain for memes and other projects. So I think it opened up the deal. And then Base is out there now. You got Tron, you got other chains, you got Pulse Chain. So you got other chains out there now. So Solana is people know about Solana and it's advertising. Because now when I think of memes on the chain, Solana is like one of the first places I think about now. I don't even think about Ethereum as much. When I think about a meme, what chain? Solana is the first place I think about. So they've done a good job of like marketing that. Of course, we got to clean it up. Yes, you're right. We got to clean up all these chains, really. There's a lot of stuff out there. So, yeah. Mainly because the reason why, because of the fees. The fees are so low. So people, you got the bad actors are like, you know what? We're going to move our truck in here and we're going to move that back out. But that's why I think you got to find the ones that's got good community, that there to stay. It really depends what you're trying to do. If you're looking for something short term, then just look at the trends. But if you're looking at something that's more longer term, look at the community, look at what they're building, look what they had set aside. Look at the X page. The X page will tell you something. If you're seeing one post, two posts, and that's it, you may want to get out because that person is just trying to make things look good. We getting out of that. So if you see one or two posts and got like 20 views, get out. Or if you might see 10 posts, 20 views, couple of likes, this kind of make things that sound good, you may want to get out. If that's your game plan, Long-term stuff, you're going to see community rating. You're going to see more of a lasting thing. More of a lasting. Now, you do have short-term ones that last per 24 hours, but you just got to read the temperature. You know what? Just read the temperature a little bit. The last longer ones are trying to really build something. It's not what they say, it's what things are doing. It's hard to find sometimes. That's why I'm like, things like SWPs, some of these other memes that's on Solana, that's the ones you want to look for. Look at the ones that's building, they're burning their tokens, they're putting out content, they got people talking about it, they got raiders, all that kind of stuff. Go for those, because eventually those will succeed very high. Don't look for the ones that just launched. But if the ones that just launched, look at the whole picture of the actually project itself. That's how you can really succeed. I love memes, just wish they would last more. Some of them do. You got to really look for them. A lot of times when I see a new meme on Solana that I don't know about, I sit there and just watch it. I watch the Telegram or the Discord or the X page. I just watch. I kind of watch. And then eventually you start seeing signs. People panicking, people saying stuff. You're like, oh, okay, I may need to jump out. So you just kind of gotta watch. It's okay to ape in late. Sometimes you may have to ape in later to kind of protect yourself. Because sometimes you ape in too early and it's a dud. So yeah, so ETH gas fees are decent now, Max. So trenchant is toxic as hell. It is, man. I think because there are some solid projects on Solana. They really are. I think it gets really covered up on there's good projects there. And I think that there's good projects, but then there's a good amount of bad projects. And I think sometimes we kind of focus on just the bad ones and we think the whole thing is bad. Solana's got some really good projects on Solana chain. It really is. It's just that you got a lot of bad ones too. And I think sometimes we remember the bad over the good a lot. And so out of 10 projects, you may have, out of 10 projects on Solana, you may have 5 are good, 3 are bad, and 2 are okay. Yeah. So how do you find cold raiders and shit? So many scammers. You just got to start communication. You got just by networking and communication. I think the colds are the people that you see. To me, okay, this is a good question here. I think for colds, you look at people that you see on a normal basis. I think those are good. They're out there in the trenches. They're still promoting, still talking about stuff. You know, the people that you see out there, because if they're talking about it currently or all this kind of stuff, then yes, that's a good thing. You won't get, to me, look at current people that's actually out there talking and communicating, grinding. The bear market colds are the best, bro. Because the bull market calls, everybody can start a channel. I'm bullish. Yeah, he just started his channel 2 days ago. We're in the bull market. The ones that in the bear and the raiders as well, and the shillers as well, look at the ones that out there doing it, bro. And you know the ones are. Obviously, the creators, you can just look at their X page, the channels, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're looking at raiders, just look around communities and see who's out there raiding in the TG and the X and YouTube and all those kind of stuff. You see them. The bear, especially right now, think about this. The people out there that's hustling, when it's down 26, those are the gold. Those are the ones. Because it's harder to talk about something when you're down so much. If you find people that's out there talking, communicating, grinding, whatever, those are gold, especially if it's positive. Especially if it's positive. Now, if there's negative, it actually could be a good thing based on what they're seeing. But if they're out there, because like right now, I've got 300 people in. Man, just 2 weeks ago, it was like 1,500, 2,000. Why? Because people only want to be around, because people want to be around when things are high. But that's okay. That's okay. So I was thinking like, 300 people could win because maybe those 300 people can buy the dip at this particular time. The other 1,500 is scared. I don't want to touch the stove. The stove is too high. So look at the ones that's like out there grinding, man. Because when the bull market comes, gold. Because like, I remember you talking about Bitcoin when it was 12,000, which I was. I'm talking about Bitcoin was 12, 30,000, 10,000, for 40, 50. I was talking about it then. I mean, me being Bitcoin at 88,000, I'm like, this ain't nothing. I remember Bitcoin was like 10. And people were freaking out then. Like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my house. And I'm going to lose the boat that I have in my backyard. People were freaking out then. 88K, I'm like, what? It just depends what you see. And then when I see things like this, I'm like, I understand it's kind of, you could take it either way. And I'm like, if he's saying that, it means something. Now, if it means something. It means something. And the answer may not come tomorrow. Because some people be thinking, oh, he's saying buy the dip. That means Bitcoin's going up tomorrow. Not necessarily at all. He's just saying, hey, listen, bro, he's basically saying, listen, he probably looking at his own stuff. Shit, I'm down 12,000, 200,000. He probably looking like I'm about to do. Let me go ahead and tweet this out about it. Because he probably looking at, listen, things are down. I know this ain't gonna stay long forever. I'm gonna buy the dip, and then we'll see what happens. But obviously, this down market is beautiful to my business and myself. To the absolutely, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is, because you make the money when things are down. Because when it's down, it goes back up. It's like when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you're down on the pillow, but eventually you get up. Now it may take a minute, but depending on how tired you are. You see, well, that's not really a good comparison. But you get my drift out. Things don't stay down as long, and might want to listen to that man about it. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. Yeah. And then when you see things like this, he's saying, Michael said Bitcoin's on sale. He knows something. Vivek calls the ambition. Vivek is he's just trying to he's getting votes, and he probably will get a lot of votes in Ohio. All this money being liquidated. You see all this kind of stuff, all these type of things. Wow, look at this. Now, this color, this red color, that was the wallet I was looking at. I was just like, yeah, it was ruby red. Look at that. Like, you don't even see no green in there. You see this, man? You see no green. You know how you'll see a little small peck of a green? You see no green. This thing is, everything is red. And if the negative is free, it's there. Yeah. But meanwhile, $64 billion. Look at this. Asset manager, Citadel, they got that information. He bought the dip. Look at his face. I bought it. Yeah. Look at his face. Major economic partnership. We'll see what continues to happen here. There was something I wanted to show. He owns 400 and is that possible? They own 499,000 Bitcoin worth 47 billion. Oh my God, man. Wow, man. He got more, bro. He has more money than several states. So, wow. I don't know. I do not know, man. I don't know. I woke up and they were gone. I do not know. So you asked me what happened. I don't know. I don't work for them. I really do not know what happened to them. I know I woke up and they were gone. They were just gone, man. I mean, that's serious. They were gone, so that's all. They were gone, man. I don't know. I'm sorry to hear that, but they were gone. They were gone. Yeah. Everything is discount now. 10x bounce. Yeah, I know, right? I'm thinking with a super solid. If you've ever been following him as long as I've been following you, get almost 4 years. Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate the follow. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But going back to you, I don't know, man. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward for that application because they had they had the right idea of their trading apps and things like that. They had the right idea. I don't know. Maybe they just ran out of money. Maybe they just felt like they couldn't really come up with, I don't know. They had a really nice application and I guess they feel like they couldn't do it. They couldn't pull it off or maybe some other stuff. I don't know, man. Yeah. So yeah, it was, yeah, because they had the right idea. But sometimes that's what I'm saying. And this is another case of like the bear. Like everybody can't stomach when things are down. And a lot of times it takes money to keep the operation going, or and maybe they realized they weren't able to do it. I saw some projects, they just decided that, they couldn't handle being down this much, and they wasn't making the money. They had to pay everybody off, and they just They just stop. And so it's a lot of great ideas that don't get followed through. And that was the one that had a good idea. I'm just like, I woke up and they were gone. I was like, dang, that's such a good idea. But you know what happens? It makes an opportunity for somebody else to come in and use those same concepts and do it better. That's, I guess, I thought they had a good idea. They did. They just decided. I don't think they can just follow through with it. That was my guess. I'm guessing. I don't know. So I'm guessing. I really don't know, man. I was just surprised everybody else was. I was like, man, what the hell's going on here? For me, I would have pulled it. I would have tried to find it. If I had to not rob a bank. I can't say this because, I won't say it. I still would have put something out, man. I think, but then I don't know the cost of having an application, a phone application. So I don't know all the costs and who. I don't know. I don't know that though. That's why I'm saying that's why I don't think I would want to run a project. Because so much that you got to do. You got this, you got this. I'm like, bravo to the devs out there, man, because it's not easy, man. It's not easy because you got to fight off the scammers and you got to fight off the negativities and you got to fight off the people who like that. It's just so, and apps are expensive. Yeah, apps are expensive. And I think that what happened was some of these guys that come out with these really revolutionized applications that's supposed to make things easier. I think that the cost gets up and then deadlines, they miss deadlines. And then people are just not as patient. They'll see you're not moving in a chart, they'll leave. And then, it's a lot of stuff going on because you have to constantly putting it in there. And because people are so impatient. But that's why it takes a good community to bounce it off a little bit. If you got a hard rock community, they're like, we ain't selling nothing. And they got enough money to basically keep the chart up. That's what you want right there. Long lasting, not just a bunch of people asking what happened, what we're doing. I mean, hell, I'm not, like I was saying, you're not really the person in there, at all. But I think applications are expensive to run. And I think the cost got up and they just couldn't handle it. Which a lot of projects I see behind the scenes had good concept, but they just fall apart. But on the positive end, it's always an opportunity for someone else to come in and be like, you know what? We'll take what they did and just make it better. Because in this bull run and this year, and with crypto being very, very innovative and a lot of good ideas, you're going to see more people come up with really good ideas to solve problems. So don't sweat on it, man, because don't sweat on it. Just, it's going to be more people to come out with something better. And of course, there'll be an entry, there'll be dips. Hell's a dip right now on everything. So that's how you got to look at it. CTO stressing me out. The scammers aren't saying, CTOs. Yeah, CTOs is another one that you have to be careful on because everybody wants to do what WIF did. WIF was a CTO that went to billions. There are some successful CTOs. There's very little success. Okay. Now some of them can be revived and do well, but it's very little. There's a reason why it's a CTO. But doesn't mean you can't be successful at the CTO. It just takes a lot. Because then you have to win over people all over again. And crypto is one of those things where sometimes you got one shot. And that's how some people look at you. Given that second chance, it takes time for a second chance. Like Saitama Wolfpack, even though they had nothing to do with the original Saitama, they got to win over people from the old Saitama, and they're doing a good job of it. It's just people, sometimes they only remember the first. And it's hard. Only how that wins over unless you get enough people to buy in and to push, and then they see the results, and then they can come in. But it takes time. I don't know. It's the whole psychology of the mind. But CTOs can work. Very little really are successful. And that's just being honest. Doesn't mean you can't be successful, but very little are, because yeah, you do got scammers out there, you got other people, but they can be successful. They can be 100%. They can be saying it's very little, but it takes a team and a community to do it. I've seen them done well before. I've seen them done really well. So there are good success stories out there. They're just not as many that you would want, but they're out there. Got to keep expectations manageable and communication effectively. Yes, that's very, very important. Keep communication and manage expectations. Don't put things out there that people will, they're expecting so much and little. Keep things very, very kosher. And if you got a roadmap, you got to follow the roadmap. So you got a roadmap out there. It basically goes back to communication. A lot of people fall short on communication, and they do stuff and they don't really tell people, and they lose that trust. And then all of a sudden now people are like, listen, I'm going to go somewhere else. And it's very tempting though, because you have options. You have so many options out there. So you got a lot of options. So people are like, listen, I got to stick around here. That's how people are looking at it. People are looking like, I got to stay here. So they're looking at options, and that's why. So it's probably the same thing that happens with Vault. Oh, things got pricey and they have to condemn down. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not them, but several of them. You know, some people have to cut back on expenses. They have to readjust things. I think if I was running a project, I think I would always have money flowing in. That's not only in crypto, but it's in other things as well. Like we can make money now off the token, off the utility. I would have something where I make money from you off the utility, and then also I gotta have some taxes, but I would communicate what those taxes does. But I will have it where some of those taxes do go back to the community, and you see that. So if it is a 3% tax, 1% y'all get it back. 2% goes into the project itself. I would do something like that. That 1% tax, even that 1% tax directly goes to the people, or just goes into like a pool where, you know, every month, whatever, we just kind of sprinkle in whatever's left in there. That's what I would do. I would do something where if it's 3%, 1% just go back to everybody, and 2% goes to the project to keep the project alive. That way this thing won't go down. So I would figure out something where I got 2% taxes, and then I will have something else where I'm making money doing something, making money. So I will have where if it's staking or whatever from another project or from Ethereum, whatever, we're making money all the time. It's not just on the project itself. So I'm thinking about revenue streams. And a lot of utility projects, they don't really think of all that. I'm thinking about like 3 or 4 revenue streams before I even launch. I'm thinking about several revenue streams, because I got to survive things like this. You know, I'm thinking about, I got to survive, not only survive, but thrive when things are like this. So if everything is raw crypto, sometimes you may want to have some stuff coming in that doesn't have anything to do with crypto. You know what I'm saying? Some money coming in, you're making this, you're putting that in there. So that money is going into actually a wallet or whatever itself. So be thinking of ways of how you can make money now off the token, and then your utility. Like it costs you to use this. If it's something that people like to use or whatever, there's a cost of using it. It gets back in. Absolutely. Yeah. Those are a couple of things I'll be thinking about. I'll be thinking about partnerships. I'll be thinking partnerships on stuff that people use on a normal basis. So I'll be trying to partner in with, with stuff that people use on a normal basis that I can probably get something from them, and that's just incentive for holding this. So yeah, if it's a utility project, if it's a meme project, that's a little different, definitely. But yeah, because you got to think of like how you're doing all this kind of stuff, and it kind of based on what he's saying, and Nico ETH is saying, is that you got to look at all your expenses too. It's literally got to have a big plan, how much it's going to cost, where our revenue looks like, how much our taxes, all this kind of stuff. So got to look at the big picture, but it can happen. It's just that you may have to, pivot on a couple of things. Yeah, possibly. possibly, and a few other projects. But Vault's still doing well, and they're still their community is still pretty strong there, and they'll be fine because they've been lasting in the bear market. They could have been done a long time ago, but that community is strong enough to keep it going, and they'll bounce back. Like they'll bounce back to where they want to go. I think they will because they're still alive. Listen, if you're still alive, you got a chance. You got a chance there. So in this here, don't be surprised if this 2 turns into like a 6 or something, or it goes, or if this switch 62. This is kind of switch because it's done before. You see that green signal? So it's done that before. So just be careful out there, guys. Things don't stay low for a long time. You may wake up and everything is green. Don't be surprised. Tomorrow is a green day. Don't be surprised. Tomorrow is a green day. Don't be surprised. Tomorrow, Thursday. I said it here first because don't say red for a long time. It's a cycle. But yeah, I'm getting the dip, holding, staking, and having some fun. Hey, I'm gonna let you guys go. Welcome to the Captain Show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and on the X or Twitter. We still call it Twitter, but it's X. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be back on what's today? Tuesday. Be back on Thursday. Is it Thursday? Yeah, on Thursday. Be back on Thursday for another show. And yes, can't wait. I'll see you guys later.